Welcome everybody. So today I am excited because I would love to, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, number one, I am known as the Hotness Coach / Psychic Supermodel and Master Channel. So my specialty is channeling, psychic downloads, everything like that, and also helping you create hotness in your life. So when I say hotness, I mean that unstoppable feeling when you know that you're in the heat and you're fanning your flames and you're the ultimate version of yourself and you're not holding back. So for some people, it's like, what do we need? First of all, can everybody who is here please comment below and say hi so I can actually get to know you and start tapping into your energy, because we're going to be doing some one-on-one, basically like hot seat channeling, to really look at your dream life and you stepping into that dream life and what could be potentially right now holding you back from that dream life. And most of us, what it is we're wanting to go into that overflow state, right? We're wanting to go into that I'm unstoppable, I don't doubt, I'm in my certainty, I'm in my confidence, and I'm not looking for external validation to step into that. Hi Ange, hi Morella. So if you would like me to go into channeling you, let me know below and I'll start tapping in and we'll start going into like what we feel like we want to step out of and step away from in 2021 and what we want to step into for 2022. So this is going to be amazing. So when it comes to our next level desires, our next level earnings, our next level body, our next level business, our next level bank account, if we don't have it yet, that's because there's something in our vibration that isn't a match for it yet. So that means that there's something that we need to detangle, something that we need to purify, something that we need to work on looking at in order to step back into that. So oftentimes, yay, Morella, I would love to do you. So oftentimes, especially for those of us who are not new to self-help and we've done a lot in the industry, we've done a lot of mindset work, what we want to look at is eyes on the blind spots to the things that we haven't yet noticed. So Morella and Michelle, who's here, I'm excited because I think it's both of your guys' first time on one of my lives. What I would like you to do is tell me what do you want, right? Like what is your next level desire? So when you're thinking about like the magical thing that you want to plop down into your life, what would be the dream come true? What's like the thing that you want for 2022? So we'll step into that and we'll start like channeling that. So also, if you're here and you go into a channeling with me, the more you engage with me, the better it is, because the more open the channel is. So when I'm saying something, like talk with me, chat with me, like as if we're in a conversation. So channeling, when you're getting channeled, it very much is so like it's intimacy and connection, right? It's just like having sex with somebody. So the more that you're part of the experience, the better the sex is going to be. If you just lay there and you just let the other person basically make love to you, it's not the same as you being engaged in the connection. So you would love to receive, but what is it that you would love? Oh yeah, Michelle, you want to receive. So in 2022, what is it that you guys want to step into? You want to receive, but what do you want to receive? So Morella, for you, I can already feel that in 2021, the biggest thing that we want to step out of is hesitancy, is second guessing, is doubt, is changing your mind about things and constant tweaking. And it's not that there's anything wrong with tweaking. The point is that you tweak because you think something's wrong and you can't wait for the result to come. So then you change it before it actually has a chance to come to life. I would love to learn to receive too. I love this metaphor with the sex. I want to receive love and money. Okay. And so because the way we receive one thing is the way we also receive another thing, right? So when I'm tapping into your soul, so it's the inability to follow through when you're in doubt. That's the thing that's preventing you from being able to go all the way. And then Michelle, if you want one-on-one clients, that's very much so focused. That's very much so attention on you. And the thing that I feel that you need to step out of is anger, resentment, control, lack of trust, frustration, and step into allowing yourself to be guided, into allowing yourself to see the best in people, into being able to do things in the shadow of the doubt. And so I'm going to go deeper into your channel after this. I'm going to start with Mirella, and I'm going to go fully into her channel. And then anybody else who wants me to go deep into their channel, just share the video and comment shared, and I'll go in. So Mirella, when we're identifying what you really want, because you're wanting to receive, but you're also wanting to allow, right? You're wanting to be able to let go, and it's the hesitancy that's getting in the way. So it's not that you're not allowing at all, and it's not that you're not receiving at all, but it is kind of like blocking it. So how I'm seeing is it's like there are little gates and little needles that you kind of make people come through. So I'm just going to step in and see what your soul really has to say by channeling your soul about what she really, really wants. I can feel it right in here. There's so many different, so if I'm speaking from your soul about what she really wants, what she really needs, and what she would get to experience if you were to come into like with a package with me. So I'm going to channel what your soul has to say and what your soul would experience coaching with Tasha. So this is your soul talking right now. There's so much overthinking going on and so many barriers that are going on in my brain and in my head about how things have to be, how things should be, what it needs to look like for things to be smoothly, that the second that it's not smooth, I decide that it's not in alignment. So what I'm really wanting is this free flowing, like smooth ride, but the thing that's actually getting in the way is me trying to force it to be smooth. And instead of being able to just move through the rocks and the bends, I have a rigid idea of going from A to B in a straight line. And so actually, if I were able to just let go and know how to roll with the flow of things instead of trying to create smoothness, this is actually the thing. So it's more about flexibility and agility instead of changing my mind. So when I see that something's not working out for me, in order to basically avoid frustration, I've created a defense mechanism where I just swerve hard. So instead of sitting in it a little bit longer, instead of being able to like manage frustration so that I can get through to the point where I really want to go to, because life isn't just a smooth ride, I make an excuse in my mind that it's out of alignment. But that's actually not true. What it is I can't handle the feeling of frustration, so I change my mind and I swerve and I pivot. So what this is related to is because I have had too much frustration in the past where I've wasted my time on things. And so because I've wasted my time on things, I've refused not to waste my time anymore. And so the second that I feel like something's a waste of my time, instantly I change. And so what this is doing is it's creating all of these open chords and also unfinished projects, unfinished ideas, because I decided in my mind that it wasn't the right thing, just because it got a little bit frustrated. So there's an excuse that happens of it being out of alignment or out of integrity because it's not easy, because you have it in your mind that everything should be easy, but that's actually not true. So it's about who are you when things get hard? Who are you when things aren't easy? And the constant pivoting is the thing that's preventing you from being able to step into that. So in the dream life, what we really want to do is be able to allow ourselves to receive. And so if you were to be able to like really receive me, what you would have is, number one, this throat chakra would open up completely because we'd work on healing that in the healing sessions. You have a chunk right down here that's stuck. It feels like it's related to daddy issues. And there's a blockage right here, which prevents your heart from truly being able to come forward in the way that you communicate. So what it is that what's coming out of your mouth now is straightforward. It's to the point, it's valuable, but there's a next level version of your heart actually being connected while you communicate. So you're communicating from here, and we want you to communicate from here or from here. So there's a surface, there's everything you're saying is attracting a certain level of like surface level clients who are looking for something very specific that you have to offer instead of who you actually are. So there's a couple things that would want to happen is, number one, your way of communicating and your way of marketing would need to change so that you can up level your audience so that you can receive more. And this is probably, okay, so I don't know what your situation is with love. Can you tell me that? Or like, are you in a relationship? Are you single? What is it? Because I'm also tapping into the way that you communicate in relationships and in love and with men. And again, it feels very point blank of like, this is what I expect or this is what I want in a relationship, instead of like, I'm open to seeing what it is you have to offer, and I'm open to really getting to know you and who you are and if that's a good fit. So there's this thing of like, just stepped out, but still love him and feel connected with him. Okay. So there's a defense mechanism that's being put up of like what you expect and what you need from somebody. And it's been it feels like this very black and white, like either you can give me this or you can't give me this. And when you're able to rationalize in your mind if somebody can give it to you or you can't, it feels that much easier to basically leave. So there's this wanting to create this yes or no thing, but then there's this like torn piece of like, oh, I'm not coming through with, like, I'm not following through with what I promised myself. And I said that I would have these expectations, and I said that I would have these boundaries and requirements that need to be met. But what if you actually allowed yourself to believe that he could meet the expectation? Or what if you actually allowed yourself to believe that these other men could meet your expectation? Because what it feels like is you're creating this list of things that you need from a man. And in having this list of things, which is like these high expectations, what it also gets to do is in your brain, it creates safety, because you're like, okay, I know that most people or most men aren't actually capable of this. And so I get to eliminate like 90% of men, and that makes me feel more safe, because then I'm not overwhelmed, because I'm clinging on to something specific that I want in order to have control, instead of just being open to what I'm a match for, if that makes sense. So the kind of expectations that you've created in your mind of what you expect from a business, from a lover, from all of that, again, it's a way for you to feel in control. And it's not bad to know what you want. Of course you can know what you want. It's the way that you're doing it. It's the reason why you've done it. It's to be able to block you off from hurt. Okay, I only am open to this, this, and this. And I'm saying that because I am scared to get hurt, or I'm scared to be cheated on, or I'm scared to be left behind, or I'm scared to. So what we would want to do is, it's such a fine tweak, right? So because whatever, and I don't know if do you have a business as well? Are you an entrepreneur as well? I'm assuming you are. Because whatever we're doing in our love life, we're also doing in our business. So if you're creating defense mechanisms and lists and black and white things of what exactly it is that you want in a man, you're also doing the same thing in your business. Okay, I'm going to price it at this point because anybody who any less would attract not good clients. I'm going to offer this thing, and I'm not going to talk about this thing because I don't want to attract this thing. Like, it feels like there's a constant ping pong, instead of just allowing what you have to say and what you have to feel just flow out of you. Hi, Cheryl. I know it's been a long time. I was banned on Facebook for like a month because of nudity. So don't do it, you guys. Just don't do it. But, Marela, with the guy that you said that you've left, but you're still feeling love for him, why don't we really just tap into that as well, okay? And let's see let's see if we have something that we can clean up around there, because, right, you're feeling torn. So the other thing is when you're feeling unsure or feeling torn, we all need to be able to sit in that unsurety or in that tornness without forcing ourselves to make a decision, because I need to make a decision right now. Otherwise, it's going to hurt even more when I leave. So that's a little bit of what it felt like. It felt like frustration in the relationship. And because I can't handle this frustration, there's going to be a lifetime of frustration. So what do you feel? Okay, so you feel sure about him. Sorry, I thought you were unsure because I thought you said I left him, but I still want him back or something like that. Is that what you said? he didn't have time at all, and it seemed also afraid to step in it. Okay, so it's not, okay, so what are you sure about him? What are you sure about him? Because I thought for some reason that you weren't sure, because I thought you said I left the relationship, but like I kind of like still love him basically. So, hi Chelsea. So what is it that you are sure of? I left him because he has no time, and this was the story of his past. Okay. That he loves me. Okay, so you're sure that he loves you. Okay. So that he loves you, he activates you, and he's good for you. So those are the things that you are sure of, but he lacks the time to be able to basically give that to you. That's what it is. And our intimacy was amazing. Okay, so when you were together, it was amazing, but you were wanting basically more time together. It was like, okay, when we are together, it's amazing, but I have standards. Like, I don't just want to be basically the weekend girlfriend, or like, I don't want to be like the part-time girlfriend. It was like maybe his job or something was his full-time love, and you were like the love affair, basically. So it was like, it's not even that he was cheating on you. It was that his job was the priority over you. And then that was a feeling of sadness, defeat, unworthiness. Gotcha. These ones are always the hardest, because it's like, you're like, it's not like he's a dick. It's not like he's bad for you and then that makes it easy to leave. It's like what you really want to do is stay. Hi, Udi. I'm excited for our call. I am sure that he enjoyed us very much. Okay, well, let's go into your soul. And he wanted, but is afraid. Well, and the other thing is, what happens a lot of time is we'll fall in love with the potential of what a relationship could be. And I mean, we all know how that lasts, right? Or how that goes. So let's see if I can really, let me see if I can like tap into him. Yeah, so when I tap into him, it very much feels definitely like work is the priority and is the love of his life. And that might feel a little bit heartbreaking. It definitely feels like that's really all he knows, because that's the thing that he views safe will give back to him. His work, so here's why I'm talking about this, because the more we can understand him, the more we can allow ourselves to basically be in the spot that we are. So number one, it's really learning to understand him. So when I really tap into him, it's like his work creates a safety that he maybe wasn't able to tap into with you. And it's not that he didn't love you. It's not that he didn't enjoy you, but there's a knowingness when it comes to work of like, I get exactly what I put in. So when I go to work and I show up every day, like my work's never gonna leave me. My work is the ultimate safety. My work is what I need to survive. So it's not that I'm neglecting her or like choosing not to be with her. It's just like, if it's between literally survival and love, I'm gonna choose survival because that's what I know. Right? So, and he wanted, but is afraid. Yeah. So just looking at the way that his brain works, like mechanically, that is just what it is. He doesn't know how to think other words. Like I literally see him sitting there and he's like, what are you talking about? Like I'm going to work and I'm doing that because that's what I have to do, because that's what I was born here to do, and you're telling me not to do it, and like I'm just not going to do that. So it very much feels like he's not available to do that. He's not available to make you the center of his life, and what you're really wanting is a man who you would be like the center of his life. And it's not to say that he wouldn't be able to change, but he would have to be like, there would have to be stuff that would happen, right? And so what we always want to look at is the change within ourselves, which is, and because what happens is then the next thing is like, oh, look, I'm not getting this. You're not giving this to me. And then it turns into a little bit of like, almost like demanding or like, hey, this is what I need. And so what we want to look at is what we really desire. Because okay, I got it. So because his life, he's so based off needs, he also activates your needs. I know he is just beginning because he's tapping also in my work with Melanie, and he opens up. That's amazing. I love that I love that he's open to like the possibilities, right? And that actually is a really big step, especially for like a manly man like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially for him to even believe and not just be like, oh, she's over there with her like woo-woo stuff. But let's really get clear on what your desire wants, because what's happening is there's a focus on like, what do I need from a man? And it's like this very rigid, this is what I need. And the reason why that's happened is because there's been so much wiggle room with him. It feels like that, like there was so much trying to be flexible with him and trying to adapt to his ways and trying to give him a little bit longer and trying to give him space and trying to give him this and trying to give him that. And what we really need to do is just really tap into you and what it would take for you to really heal this. So these types of things always comes down to a deep wounding that you have inside of yourself. It's probably linked to a parent. It's probably linked to your dad. So let me see. This would be something really good to go into in a healing session. But when I feel into it, when I feel into like you and picturing him, it's like this aching feeling and just knowing that it either can't work or it would take a lot of work. Like there's this aching heart and then also this knowingness that things are so tied up and that he's so tied up, and that could he open up and could he eventually change and like change his ways? Yes, of course he could. But then a knowing of like, and am I willing to basically sit here and hold space for him why he does that? No, I'm talking about your boyfriend still. So, however, let me see if I can go deeper into that. So, this feeling of like aching for something that you feel like you can't actually get. Can you tell me when the first time it is that you ever felt that, remembering feeling that in your life, like ever in your whole life? Because I can see like 15 years old and then also like maybe 10 years old or down to 6 years old. So tell me when was like the very first time you remember feeling like, I want this so bad. And it's not that I don't know that I want it. Like I want this so bad, but literally I don't even think it's possible, or how could it work? And just like this ultimate fear, but also entanglement of disappointment that you really can't have what it is that you want. So when was the first time? Because it also feels like there's coding in there, even around like getting your first job. Like I want this job so bad, and it just feels like maybe it's not going to happen. I want this so bad, but this, and this. Because now we're tapping into like the self-fulfilling prophecy of where the root of this really came from. And what's happening is we're trying to fill that void with men. Okay, first boyfriend. And what was it? Like you just, what was it with the boyfriend? Yeah, I'll see you soon, Udi. What happened with the boyfriend? So in this creation of the experience, a lot of times what we would do, but didn't felt confident. Okay. So it's like, okay, and it's like, I either want the thing and I can't get it, or I get it, but there's still something else lacking, right? He loved somebody else. Okay. Okay. So you were always like second. Got it. So do you notice how you've recreated this scenario with this other guy, except for he doesn't love somebody else. He loves his work more. So it's always like you're the second love of the life. So this feeling of not being number one or not being like really cherished. And my mom told me I need a man, and at the same time, I should be very independent. So do you see how this is kind of like okay, there's a lot tangled in here. I have a feeling I know what this is. So with your parents, you were always first. And then what happens is when we have parents who put us first all the time, we also create this feeling of like being on a pedestal. So when we have dads and moms that always put us first and give us all our dreams or like everything, and it's like that amazing, and they basically cherish you and love you and give you all the love in the world, what can happen is then it's really, really hard for anyone else to meet that requirement. So when you have a dad who basically would give you all of the attention in the whole wide world because he's the thing that he doesn't love anything as much as you, that's your first experience of a man. And so what happens is no other man stands a chance, pretty much, because that's a different kind of love. So you're putting yourself up on a pedestal, and then you're expecting everyone to meet that. But because you're on a pedestal, they literally can't. And so that's the thing. So you'd have to be able to be willing to know that it would be a shoulder to shoulder, not you're here and they're doing everything that they possibly can for you to be the light of their life. And it's not that you can't have a man who is like that, but there's this them constantly trying to please, and like they can't. So this is the thing that would need to be healed. So if you weren't up here, and if you weren't the love of their life, and it truly was just an even keel, and you were shoulder to shoulder in one, because as long as you're here, you can't be one. So as long as you're here, you can't be one. And of course, rationally in your mind, of course you don't want a man like that. It's not so much about the mind, it's about the coding that's inside of the body. So because if you're not having that right now, that means that there's something that you're not a match to right now, right? Like if you don't have the shoulder to shoulder man right now, that means there's a reason why for that. It's not just because, right? So there's something a lot deeper that we would probably have to go really a lot deeper into the body to really identify what that is. But I can feel that it's the expectations. That's what it is. So I think it would have to be like really being able to love the human. And of course, again, it's in your mind, of course you love the human. In your mind, of course you don't expect people to be perfect. It's more about the defense mechanisms that are put up to be able to handle when someone can't meet the perfection, if that makes sense. So with stuff like this, it's so minute and it's so under the surface and it's so in the body, because I can tell that where your head is, you're like, no, I don't do that, or I don't think that, like consciously you don't think that, but there's things that are going on in the subconscious, and it has to do with expectations for sure. So something that you can work on your own is, okay, what do I do when something feels like it's not meeting my expectations? What's the action that I take, and what am I getting out of that action? Do I numb out? Do I shut down? Do I puff up? Do I get louder? Do I get quieter? How do I react when something isn't quite meeting my frustration because it feels like there's a cutoff thing? If I want to keep going on this relationship or leave it, because it would not, in a way, I don't know what I don't know. To keep going on this relationship or leave it because it would not meet my expectations. So I really think that to go any further on this, I would have to like actually be in your body in a healing session. So it's like you will ask for it once, but then as soon as it doesn't work, then you will go. So I think maybe what it might have to do with is, can you sit in it a little bit longer? Can you sit in the haven't met my expectations a little bit longer? Can you negotiate, or can you... I feel like it would take a full-on conversation for us to really get to the bottom of that, because it's very hidden down there. Who else would like to go next? Please let me know. Who else is on here and would like to go next? Hi, Austin. So for those of you who don't know, Austin and I are doing a mini mind, which starts January 3rd. So that means that you get 10 days of Voxer. So what it's going to be is it's 10 days of Voxer for hacking the mindset. And then it is 3 calls during that time to go into healing and also have both of us. You're going to be getting tag teamed by both of us. So you're getting our intuition, our healing, and double potency. So it's about starting January off as this like new person, like a hybrid. It's like stepping into this like hybrid version of you, but not only that, also locking it in. So you're going to get us, and then you're going to get time to go away and apply everything and then come back. So it's like, okay, yes, I'm having breakthroughs, but also I'm going to apply them. And then you come back for another call so that we can make sure that everything's being integrated. I know, I can't wait, Chelsea. Okay, so for those of you who want to go into a reading next, you just need to share the video and then comment shared, and then we'll go into you next. Sitting down today to finish out my 2021 and set it for 2022. That's exciting, Chelsea. So I'll go into Chelsea, and then Cassie, if you want to go next, just share the video and comment shared, and I'm excited to go into you too. And Helen, I'm always happy to see you. I always love to see you. So Chelsea, the thing that I feel like you would really be stepping out of in 2021 is like, I feel like you're stepping into this like higher bracket of yourself, if that makes sense. It's like there's this, I don't know what the word would be for it. It's like your standards for yourself are going to raise, and not from a place of like, I'm demanding myself to do this, but from a place of like, I'm actually super excited to become this woman that I know that I've always been meant to be. Like, I'm so excited to not be holding back at all. And it's not that you were holding back. It's not about that at all. It's more about the energy that you're going forward and doing it, right? So getting rid of this last little like 1 to 10% of prove it energy, and really stepping into this like, because there's just a tiny little resistance piece to like what I'm supposed to be, and then I'm gonna actually fight against what I used to expect myself to be. Okay, I got it. So here's what I think it is, Chelsea. There is these expectations that I feel like you put on yourself a long time ago, like the old you, okay? So like the bad girl Chelsea. There's these expectations where you used to be really hard on yourself, it feels like. You used to like set this bar and do a lot of like goal setting and things like that. And then it just became like, this is not the way. And so then you kind of like shut down, and you're like, I have to, not shut down, but like detached. You're like, I have to really focus on a different way. This is not working. So I feel like you did that. And now what it's all about is actually going back to those expectations, because those actually were your desires, but it was the energy of it that you were going at them. So those expectations that you had of yourself, those were your dreams and desires. But because you were doing it from like a frantic place or like a I'm not enough place, you had to let go of them. So now this year, 2022, is like you've built up this foundation of courage, of enlightenment, of belief in yourself, of a love in yourself, of an ability to communicate and to to stay focused and to also keep your word of things. Like I said, this is what I expect and it's what I expect. Like I said, these are my standards and it's my standards. So that foundation is like locked in. And so now what's happened is you're in this in-between phase of also not letting yourself completely go for that ultimate Chelsea because you're afraid of going backwards into toxic patterns of like neediness or any of that stuff, but you're a different human. Like that's not going to happen. So now it's about going for this high achieving version of yourself, but from a rooted and grounded place, which is going to be completely different. So it's about allowing yourself to go back into goals, and it doesn't have to be goals, but like this idea of where you want to be. So phase 1 was like breakdown basically. Phase 2 was integrate foundation. And now you're going on to phase 3, which is accelerate, elevate, but you're going to elevate from a grounded space. You're not going to elevate from, ooh, I got this thing that makes me high for a moment and it makes me feel achieved for a moment, but like deep down I'm in a void. So this is where it's going to change. I feel this week, I trust I won't step back into those past patterns, like giving from delicious service, not from, yeah. And you'll recognize it right away. Like you'll feel it in your heart and you'll feel it in your back. So this is something, because when I tap in, and in your ears as well. So I can feel like all your different inner chakras and body language, like really, really opening. And your body's really going to start talking to you in so many different ways, because also I feel like it's taken so much, like I can just really feel all the work that you've put in and how much manpower it's taken for you to get to the place where you have, and how much like discipline and how much like, no, I'm doing this, like I'm keeping attached to the vision, like I'm doing it, like so much holding space. Like I can just really feel how much work you've put in on that, and it's amazing. So this next spot is like, okay, I know how to hold space now, and I'm ready to elevate, and I'm ready to become this other version of me. So when I see your dream life, I really see this effortless beauty. I see this like tousled hair. I see this accountability factor where you feel really accountable to yourself. And in the moments where you get discouraged, you don't go into like a self-sabotaging thing. Like you don't go into blaming, or you don't get lost in disappointment. Like I see this version of you who stays accountable and driven, but she also feels at the same time. So she keeps working and she keeps stepping toward the thing, knowing that she's disappointed, but also moving in the right direction. So I also see like a low plunge top. I also see mini skirts. I see heels. I see photo shoots. I see like glitz and glam. I see like beautiful fluffy eyelashes. I see really nice like pinky peach lip. I see this like Renee Zellweger, or not Renee Zellweger, Reese Witherspoon like hotness of like, I am sweet and I'm a babe, but like also, you know how she's like in Legally Blonde, like she also has this like powerful piece to her that also is sexy, but it's like this it's like a different kind of sexy, right? It's not like a biker, it's not like a biker leather sexy, although I'm sure you could pull that off too. It's more of like, I don't know how to express it. Because I feel like you actually could wear leather. And it's so funny, the outfit that's coming up to me now is like it's like half rock and roll, but I'm like half ballerina. It's like, okay, I'm going to wear this dress, but like I'm going to pair it with like a bomber jacket. It's like that. Low plunge. I've always loved my boobs are so big. Perfect. So anyways, and then in your business, okay, so, and then in your business, what I see is a lot of laughter. Like I see like genuine friendships coming forward, and people who are there to be part of, like they're really there because they like, okay, I got it. So right now, I feel like a lot of clients are coming to you because they really they know that they can like be soft with you, and they know that you'll hold them, and they know that they can trust you, and that you'll hold this space of like softness. So right now you're attracting from the point of your purity, and we love that. And then this next piece that I see is you're also going to start attracting clients from your edge, right? You're also going to start attracting clients from your other side of you, like your boldness. So it's like before you were completely in the boldness, the badass, and the edge, and then you dropped that, and then you went completely you went a lot into the purity. And now we get to merge those two. So we get to merge the perfect balance of you, of the good girl and the bad girl. So the one who is sexually activated, and also the one whose heart and compassion is very important as well. So in doing this, you're going to help people to really be able to step into this like high achieving side of them, as well as being able to be wrapped in their tenderness. So that will be the next step. So it'll be a whole nother type of client that will start coming to you. So that'll be really good. So Chelsea, for you, there's a couple different things. Like I've got the Micromind coming up with Austin. That's January 3rd. So that's where you get both of us. It's 10 days in Voxer, 3 calls, go away and integrate, come back in February and have another call. Or if you wanted to do private coaching with me, we talked about like the 1-year program. Or if you want to, like if you're like, oh, I don't know if I can like swing the 1 year, we can talk about like a 3-month, or we can talk about a 6-month. My 3-month is, off the top of my head, I think my 3-month was like around 24,000 or something like that. I'd have to work out the numbers. I would have to work out the numbers. Obviously, when you go longer term, you get it at like a bulk price. But anyways, the point of that. So for those of you who want to do a 1-year journey, a 1-year all-in journey that's about evolving the bank account, the business, and the body, you get all of my body content. You get the rolling Voxer, so constant conversations about your business, your branding, your relationships, anything like that. And 2 healing calls a month where we lock it in. So where we can work on your intuition, we can work on your ability to channel, we heal the things that are going on deep at the root. Like we break those patterns once and for all. So if you know you have patterns, like this is the thing that creates consistency, is the healing calls, because we're locking it inside of your body. And it's the thing that really helps detangle and find like the little hidden things. And we can channel your offers, we can do all that. So the next person that Casey or Cassie, I don't know how to say it, but are you still here? And if so, put a heart and I will go into you next. I usually like to do that because I don't want to start channeling somebody who's not actually here. And let me know what it is. Okay, Cassie. Let me know what it is that you would like to, like, what do you want for 2022? What's the dream come true that you're trying to step into for 2022? When automatically, the first thing that I'm feeling is a nervousness. And that's the thing that could be like, there's a nervousness, like your nervous system is like, so that's one of the first things that I'm tapping into. Is what you would want to step into is a stabilization of your nervous system, a stabilization where you're not so afraid or not so anxious, and being able to like exhale and being able to really release all of the things that have been building up to this nervousness. But also, can you tell me what it is that you're really wanting in 2022? And we can start channeling that. When I start to see stable, stepping into me and staying there. Yeah. And what's the dream, Cassie? So when I feel into your dream, I see this really like lighthearted version of you. I see you going to the gym. I see these like really beautiful muscular legs and this like solid peach. and you're like looking in the mirror and you're like checking out your ass and you're like taking pictures of it and you're like, ooh, how many different colors of pants can my ass wear? And you're looking at like, you've got a bit of a thigh gap and then you look really good with like a high pony and you're feeling fit and tight all of the time. That's the first thing that I'm really feeling for you. And that this zest that you have for life comes through in the way that you speak. It comes through in your excitement to be able to like connect with friends. I see a lot of like girlfriend time and I feel like that energizes you big time. To make a difference in the world, helping others love their life. This makes so much sense because I feel like a huge part of your it factor is this like love of life thing. So what we would need to do, definitely healing sessions for you, like 100,000,000%, because in regulating the nervous system, this means you have to be able to lock in trust inside your body. Not trust like, oh, my brain is saying I'm going to be okay. Trust like where your body doesn't get afraid anymore. Like I don't really get body fear anymore. Like, you know, where you're like stressed out and you're thinking about something and then your heart flips and then you can just feel like you're like trying to brace yourself. So what I would like to do is teach you how to do that and lock that in your body in a healing session. So for you, I want to say like the ultimate thing would be 10 healing sessions and 1 month of private coaching. But when I'm feeling into like your dream life, so I see like the gym, I see you taking care of your body, I see all of that. And if I really step into what does your soul have to say that she really wants? She's like, I just want to feel like myself again. Like I want to be back to the person that I know I am. Like I can feel that I'm off. I can feel that my human is reacting to things and that she's getting in her head about things and I know I'm doing it. Like I know I'm overthinking and I know that my thoughts aren't rational, but I don't know how to stop. And so I really want my human body to be able to calm down so that I can actually be my soul. Because I know my soul is amazing. It's like, I know how incredible I am. I don't doubt that. It's that my brain gets in the way. So I've got to be able to get out of my brain and into my body and into my clarity, because my brain is causing like 100 mismatches in the lines of communication. And because it's doing that, I can't connect with my soul and I can't listen to what my soul says because my brain is confusing me. So what I really want is to be able to like feel like myself again, but even better. Like the version of me that dances around, has tons of energy, runs into the person at the mall that they haven't seen in however long, gives them a huge hug, totally authentic, like just so happy to talk to people, so happy, like such a people person, such a busy bee. So because naturally I'm like a very high vibrating busy bee where I like to be out and about and in social settings, and I truly enjoy talking with people, when I'm shutting down and when I'm avoiding and when I'm secluding, I'm way out of alignment of who I really am. Like that's a major red flag. And so, because that's like literally polar opposite of who I am. Like I want to be around my family and to feel their love and their grace, and not only to feel that, to like add to them. I want to be able to have these moments with people where we can laugh and we can cry and we can be open and I can tell my secrets and they can tell theirs and we can laugh about it and we can find solutions and do it all in this really lighthearted way to make a difference in the world. Yes. So Cassie, this is what I would like to help you do, is unravel your human and tap into your soul and be able to like really let her come to surface, because the strongest energy always wins, right? So right now the strongest energy is the nervous system kind of like taking over. So what I would like to work with you on is stabilizing that. And so it would be really good if you didn't do a short-term thing, because stabilizing isn't about short-term. What we're looking for with you is not just a moment of calmness. Do you know what I mean? Like not just, okay, I'm going to sit down and meditate and I'm going to mildly calm myself down. We're looking to lock in trust forever. So it's important that you don't try to get results right now fast. And I feel like you do have kind of the urgency in you, and you do have that tendency to want like instant gratification and then to move on to the next thing really fast if it doesn't come. So what you would want is not only to do something, but have the follow through. What I would like to see with you is longevity, because that's what stability is, right? It's longevity. It's not, I'm doing this thing right now to get a result now. I'm going to try this thing for 4 weeks to see if it works. I'm going to try this thing for 6 weeks to see how it goes. It's like, no, I'm committed to creating like an easier life, because I know that right now what's happening is it's also fatiguing me and it's driving me crazy. So this is the thing that I would like to work with you on. And you would be a really match for an all-in as well. And the reason why I'm saying that, all in, as in also the body stuff, the mind stuff, and the soul stuff. And the reason why I'm saying that is because your body is frightened and your body needs some care. So if your body could have an all-around overhaul, that would be really amazing. Really amazing. So like 3 months of my all-in, with the programs, with the Voxer, with the healing calls, is, I'll have to check my numbers to clarify, but it's around 22 to 24,000 with payment plans as well. But if you wanted to just start with healing sessions, you could just start with healing sessions. That would be the most important piece of you. So you can do healing sessions, 3 60-minute sessions for 1,111, or you can do 10 sessions for 3,000. So that means we're sitting there in Zoom for 60 minutes together, and you're forced to sit down and focus on you in that moment, because you have like the squirrel thing, like squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. So because you vibrate so high, it's very easy for you to get distracted. So the healing sessions will be really good for you in that way. And it would be amazing. So we're sitting down and I'm teaching you literally how to calm your nervous system. I'm teaching you how to do that. So I have to go now because I do have a call. But those are my main things that I have going on: healing sessions, and then my all-in 1-year journey for people who want to be able to transform their whole business, bank account, and body. So up level their body from whatever it is now to the next level. Perfect, Cassie. And also create consistent reoccurring revenue in their business, create consistent energy so that you're not like crashing and then doing this up and down thing. Because when your energy does this and your money follows, that's because you don't know how to ride energy. You just know how to create it or get hit by it. So you would have to learn how to ride it. So that's something that we would go through, and like really having this safety in your life where business and money and body gets to be safe, and you get to know when you get to trust and not go into like these self-sabotage. So like creating this dream life where you get to travel and you get to have photo shoots and you get to have the family and you get to look amazing in every outfit. Like literally body and clothes freedom. So you're no longer picking outfits according to your body. You're picking literally any outfit would look good on you. Like that kind of life. Like literally same thing with like launches, like no more launch fear. Like, okay, I have a thing to launch. I'm nervous. How many people am I going to get signed up? This and that. Like no more of that. Like really getting rid of fear. Not that you're never going to experience fear again, but having it not drive you. Like really cleaning up your energy to where you feel this wholeness. Where you're like, I finally don't feel hungry for more. Like I finally feel complete. And I'm doing things not to get to overflow. I'm doing things from a place of overflow, if that makes sense. So you can pop into my inbox and we can talk further about anything else. I love you.